Hey guys, welcome back to another Origins TCG video. Today we're going to be doing another deck guide, and we're going to be looking at the Death deck. So the Death deck, here's a look at all the cards in it. Death itself, what he does is on reveal you get to choose one of your cards and then one of the opponent's cards, and he destroys them both. And then his passive is that every card that gets destroyed, every one of your cards that gets destroyed, he gets the health and attack from it. And then the passive is that he has an extra Soul Surge. So we also have it in the deck, so we'll have like 3 Soul Surges we can use throughout the game. And then all the cards are based around trading while destroying your own cards. So, well, not all of them, but the main early game cards, like these 5 or so, are based around that. So Mummy can die and respawn, so it's not too bad to destroy him. 3 Blind Mice dies, we've seen that, and it spawns another 2. Scarecrow's an exception. Jack in the Box, when he dies, he still does 2 damage, so not too bad to kill him. And then Golden Egg, when it dies, it respawns with the Golden Goose, which is a pretty strong card. So you can throw Golden Egg out and destroy it with Trash for Treasure, Soul Surge, whatever, get a little bit of a trade or get some cards out of it, and then you have a strong card. And then the rest of the cards are, we got like 1 defensive card and then more attacking focus cards. So Moby's gonna destroy any of your cards in that area, and then it takes its health and attack similar to Death. And then Cockatrice has Death Touch, and then when he dies, he kills something else. So at the very least, when you play Cockatrice, you're gonna get 1 for 2. So it's a pretty good card for that. And then Phantom Coachman, it looks expensive, but as you destroy your own cards throughout the game, his price drops by 2 every time. So by the end, you've got a really cheap 8/8 card, so that's really helpful. Then Emotep, like I said, he's kind of defensive, so when he dies, he does 2 damage to everything on their side, so you can kind of use that to clear out a lane, ideally for another card to then do a bunch of damage. And then I kind of mentioned like Trash for Treasure, you just destroy something, you get 2 cards. Soul Surge, when you destroy something, it also destroys the enemy across from it, and then Dark Omen just kills a card. So let's hop in the game and check out kind of how to use your cards efficiently to... This is kind of like a scaling deck. By the end, you want to have some pretty strong cards. So you want to buff death up throughout the game, and you want to make sure you're killing cards so that you can have Phantom Coachman, and then that's where you really start doing damage. Alright, so here's our starting hand. It's pretty good. I think probably going to just get rid of one of the Jack in the Boxes. I probably don't need both of those. We'll see what else we got. Okay, Scarecrow's good. I do like trying to get some of that card draw going. And let's see what our first spot is. Jack in the Box is a really good first card to play because he does his 2 damage, and then at that point they probably will respond to you. But when they do respond to you, he'll die and get 4 damage. So unless you're unlucky with the first pick, he should get at least 4 free damage, or, you know, it's a 2 cost, but he can consistently do more damage than the average 2 cost, I guess. So we'll check out how this plays out. Just do the 3 damage, so we'll tie on this round, but like I said, if we both block each other, I'm going to go up, I'm going to get ahead because I'm going to do that 2 on death damage. And let's see if... I think I'll probably do Golden Goose and Soul Surge. I think that's almost always one of the best plays you can do with this deck because you'll kill your egg, get your goose, and then it'll destroy whatever's across from it, and you'll guaranteed get your 5 damage. Unless you get really unlucky and they play like... If I reveal first and he has reinforcements or something and they can spawn in that empty space, but he of course can't play anything in that space while he has a card there, so it has to be something that is like an on reveal, that it can just pop up into a random space. Alright, so it looks like he played quite a few cards here, so he's going to get a little bit ahead in that far side, but I'm going to do quite a bit of damage here in the middle. He's going to freeze Jack in the Box, which is fine. I think the bot's pretty bad about holding his freeze to use it in more valuable times. They always just freeze something right off the bat. It's really pretty ineffective, but... So we'll be pretty far ahead in this middle field while they are... I mean, it's only 5 damage, so it's not too bad over there. And I'm getting extra damage over here, so... Let's see... So what I'm going to do in this one, since I haven't killed too many cards, I'm going to go ahead and throw out Emotep out there and then Soul Surge him. That way I clear off that whole side. I think that's pretty valuable. even though they're low cost and not going to do that much damage. And he is going to spawn the mice, but hopefully they don't respawn there. Okay. So he'll kill my Jack-in-the-Box, which is fine. Oh, so they're going to Dark Omen my Golden Goose, which is unfortunate. Wow, just using all his spells. I guess he wanted to use all his spells because he gets a ton of value from there. Unfortunately, I made that play with Emotep, so none of those things would have, you know, gone up 3 or 4 damage and health. So glad I ended up making that decision. But now I do have to kind of catch up here in the middle. Let's see what we can do. I think, let's see, if I had 1 more mana, it would be pretty good to do something like this and throw Jack-in-the-Box out there as well, but I don't. But what Moby will do, he'll of course kill Emotep with his ability, and then Emotep will kill whatever's on this side. Probably not here, that's why I want to play Moby in the middle, so that way he gets that damage and he for sure has access right there. And then, unfortunately, I kind of have to give up sides, but it doesn't look like he has anything to play anyway, so. I've got a pretty strong guy here in the middle that he's got to respond to. Maybe he's got another Dark Omen coming up. Alright, so now, unfortunately I only have 3 cards to play, so I'd really like to have used that Destroy and get 2 cards card, but I haven't ended up pulling that one. But we'll go ahead and just stack some attack over here, just try to finish him off, because if I'm going to be running out of cards, he's running out of cards too, so hopefully it's not that big of a deal, not that big of a deal, but I always hate running out of cards and having to figure out how to make the most out of my 1 or 2 cards in my hand. But fortunately, like I said, he's in the same spot, so. Now, can't do too much here. I don't like overly buffing 1 card, so if I use Moby here, it'll be nice to kill that card. Actually, I think it will be worth it, because hopefully he doesn't Dark Omen in here. Okay, that's fine. Actually does nothing. I usually don't like buffing up 1 card a bunch, because then they just, especially with something without trample, he just has to put it like a mouse here, and it'll just block it indefinitely if he just wants to keep playing mice here. Not that you can do that, but like just a 1/1 cost. But with this deck it's fine, because I'm gonna have my death eventually. Unfortunately this is pretty useless, but I'd get my death eventually, and then death can just one-shot his own card, and then one-shot like this card, and then he gets that free lane. And since he's pretty low, I kind of figured buffing up death early would allow me to guarantee that at some point. Now, these cards are pointless to play, so unfortunately I can't do anything. He's just going to kill my cards most likely. I personally wouldn't obliterate the 1 lane I'm, you know, actively winning and probably going to take eventually anyway, but that's just me. So now he has to respond to my Moby here at some point, and he has to guess correctly where I place Cockatrice here, otherwise he loses. So if I play in the middle, alright. So I should win. So that's kind of a anticlimactic game, because in a way we both played poorly because we both had no cards to play the whole time. But still, that's kind of the idea. You want to buff up certain cards, and then you want to obviously destroy as much as you can, so that I didn't ever get the death card, but if you do, he's really powerful and you can get at least 1 free hit, because that can be game winning usually, especially towards the end of the game. So yeah, that's kind of a look at that. Unlucky I never pulled the Phantom Coachman either. That would be a good card to finish people off. But yeah, that's a look at the death deck. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the last one where we do my beloved move deck. So thanks, and I'll see you guys later.